Greetings, this is Carlos from Alga Vista. Today I have Angie here, in which I would like to extend a warm welcome. Thank you for being here today, Angie.
Thank you, Carlos. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. And can you please share me a little bit about your role in your business? How does it fit into the bigger picture overall?
Absolutely. I'm the broker of Grow Prosper Move Real Estate in Southwest Florida. Angie Nichols, the Grow Prosper Move Realty. I'm the broker. We work as single agents in the best interests of our customers. My husband is also a full-time realtor. He does a lot of the behind the scenes, the working with appraisers, working with photographers, taking measurements. And then we have two newer agents who are looking to grow their business and provide excellence. So I handle working with them on a very one-on-one strong mentorship, learn to crawl before they walk, and I hold their hand until they're running.
Right, excellent. Yeah, it sounds like you have your whole ecosystem going on for you there.
Absolutely. We found out that more well-trained hands makes for a much better experience for us and, more importantly, the customer.
Excellent. Let me ask you over here, Angie, what changes or trends are you noticing in the real estate industry lately?
Well, Southwest Florida's been hit hard right now. We've really slowed down from a buyer demand led to interest rates, which is nationwide, but even more specifically insurance pricing here. And we benefited from quite a boom during COVID where people could work from home in paradise. And that coupled with really low interest rates, I think just brought us a lot of buyers earlier than they may have come to the table. So I'm sure there's still pent up demand when pricing and rates drop a little bit more, but we also had a lot of pre-demand purchases in 2020 and 2021. So we have to work through some of that.
Yeah. No, yeah, most definitely. As a South Floridian native myself, a little bit more towards southeast where you're located at. Definitely saw that big boom. And at least for myself, I'm not into the real estate industry, but it was quite unexpected. And now it does seems like there's a lot of moving parts that's going on there. It's going to be very interesting to see what's to come. Let me ask you, Angie, what strategies are yielding great results for you these days? And what challenges are you facing overall?
The buyer demand is the bigger challenge than anything right now. Typically, the majority of my business has always been the listing side. And while our higher end luxury market is still pretty strong, that mid-level market where I really specialized in, that $500,000 to $1 million, that's been hit, I believe, the hardest. It's our move-up market. People sell their first home, move into their next home, and right now they're not jumping to give up a 3% interest rate to earn a 6.5%. And in the increased taxes and insurance. We've really been focusing on the starter home listings that represent a good value in areas that haven't been affected by flooding. And those houses, if priced right and marketed well, sure seem to be flying off the shelves. And with the changes to buyer representation nationwide, we're finding that a lot more buyers are directly calling the listing agents. So it's really been great for sellers to have the agent they choose manage both sides of the transaction. And it's really helped us to have less surprises in those transactions because we're being able to help both the buyer and the seller manage to the goal, which is them in a new home and the seller on to their next.
Excellent. Looking ahead to the rest of 2025, what are you most excited about?
DeSantis talking more about that rebate on property taxes. I think everybody's excited about that, but specific to real estate, I'm looking forward to some of the reforms in insurance starting to show more noticeable impacts on the rates. I'm looking forward to no hurricanes in Southwest Florida this summer and no repairs, no drama. And I'm looking forward to the buyers who've been sitting on the sidelines deciding that the market is where it is and it's still better to buy than it is to rent for their futures.
Right. It seems that there's a high probability. I mean, when it comes out to the markets, it's all about speculation, of course, but it seems as of right now, there is a rate cut to be coming by the fall. So you definitely see like that once, if we do see a rate cut, whether it's in the short term or the medium term, that's something that should be expecting to bring back that surge of demand that a lot of people seems to be sidelined overall.
Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of room from a seller standpoint. They have realized insane gains since 2019 in Southwest Florida. And although they can't list their house for what their neighbor sold it for in 2021, they still can walk away with a lot of money in their pocket. And I think as this year progresses, we're going to see a little bit more reality from the sellers. A lot of the agents who just do a few deals a year or maybe less are starting to realize how drastically different the market is from 18 months ago. So I think we're going to see less unrealistic list prices, which will motivate the buyers to start putting in offers and get off the fence.
Excellent. Reflecting on the last few years, what are the most valuable lessons that you've learned?
Work when the work is there. Hustle when people want you to hustle, and enjoy life when it's a little bit slower has certainly been a reoccurring theme. I think also it's the fundamentals. It's nothing new, but excellent service is going to create repeat business and referrals. And just because the money's rolling in and prices are going through the roof doesn't mean it's going to be that way forever. So by taking care of the customers during their transaction, which if it's a boom or a bust, it's still one of the most important transactions they're ever going to go through in their life. So just take care of the customer, keep them coming back, answer their questions, and doing things like this to just educate people. You know what? People are going to need houses every single day. We still have more people than housing starts coming in America. Southwest Florida and Florida as a whole is still one of the most beautiful places to live in the country. And just keep trucking along, keep working hard, keep doing what you say you're going to do and perform better than expected, and you're going to keep growing.
Excellent. For those interested in connecting, where's the best place for them to find you?
I'm everywhere. My website is growprospermove.com. You can connect with me there. Text message and phone call is always the best way to get a real conversation started. You know, on the phone, I can interview you in 5-6 minutes and know what you need and help. And that number is 239-281-7980. I encourage everyone to leave a message because I get as many spam phone calls as everyone else. Sometimes don't get back to them unless there's a message, but I'd love to chat with anyone and answer their questions.
Excellent. Fantastic. All right, Angie, I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.